Yo, so I caught this segment of Skip and Shannon talking about LeBron and the Lakers. These fools always talking about LeBron and the Lakers. I'm gonna let the video play and I'll chime in.
How much better do you feel about the Lakers? A little or a lot?
A little. Skip is a positive. They winning games that they should win, beating bad teams. Portland has lost 14 or 17. Minnesota playing without Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. Skip, they should win these games. I don't know what's going on in Portland, but they might.
Thank you, Shannon. I'm glad Shannon actually owned up to that and just admitted that because Shannon usually has LeBron's you-know-what in his mouth all the time. And, I can't believe I'm watching a mainstream sports show and they're making a segment out of LeBron James beating, subpar teams. I've never heard people talk about LeBron James beating Portland or LeBron James beating the Timberwolves. It's just a new day. It's a new day in the NBA.
Look to start a rebuild. Go ahead and get some draft picks for Dame. Try to get some draft picks from CJ because it's just not working in that situation.
Remember, CJ and Nurkic and Anthony Simons didn't play on Friday night at whatever it's called, Crypto.
Well, I've been saying that forever. If you follow me on Instagram at Sabatu Petros, you know that I've been saying Portland and Dame just need to part ways. I know this video isn't about Dame and the Portland Trailblazers, but they're clearly on different wavelengths right now. Dame has this thing about him where he wants to seem loyal, and that's part of his brand. But Dame wants to win, and Dame's kind of had enough of what's going on in Portland. He knows they don't really have the chips. And I think the guys in Portland, at one point, they used to want to battle for Dame. They used to go all out for Dame because Dame is he's a clutch player. You got to give it to him. So they want to go all out. They want to go all out and ball for Dame. But I don't know. After seeing Dame go on these radio shows and doing freestyles, and Dame he's kind of owned the persona of being the guy who, I don't have any teammates and I'm doing it by myself, just like Giannis and da-da-da-da-da. And it's dude, Giannis wouldn't even say stuff like that. Giannis is very, Giannis empowers his teammates, dude. It's rubbing guys in the locker room off the wrong way. I don't have any sources on that, but it's just, how does it not rub guys in the locker room the wrong way? I mean, look at their record and tell me that it's not rubbing guys in the locker room the wrong way. They're not playing. They're not playing for each other. They're not playing for each other in Portland, and it's just time to blow it up. Anthony Simons is a very good player, very good young player, and I think you could get something good out of CJ, and I think you could get something good out of Nurkic, and just trade all three of them and just start it up. Give Chauncey a chance. Chauncey is a good basketball mind. I want to see Chauncey Billups be successful in the NBA, and this is just Portland team that should have been blown up a while ago, but they're just hanging around. Just blow it up, please.
So Skip, look, LeBron has been sensational. I mean, what he did Friday night, 43-14 in 29 minutes. That's the first time
he was sensational.
He's ever gone 40 points in 29 in less than 30 minutes. He didn't have a turnover. Took very good care of the basketball last night. He was 26, 7 and 5. Wasn't his normal efficient self. He was only 7 of 5.
Yeah, LeBron's looking at these Lakers and he's like, God damn, we ain't winning shit this year. He looking at this roster. He knows damn well they ain't winning shit this year. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna try to get me that scoring title. I think LeBron's chasing after that scoring title. I think he just wants to rack up those points. I mean, LeBron, not to digress too much, but LeBron's a guy who he's putting his hand everywhere. He's becoming what's the saying? He's a master of none, but he's doing a little bit of everything. And he's not getting the perfect results in any one particular thing. He's trying to win a championship, trying to be an A-list actor, trying to get the scoring title, trying to do all these different things, lead the league in assists. And it's you'll get one or two of those things. He wants to play until his son arrives. You'll do one or two of those things, but you're not going to be able to do all those things, my guy. At this point in your career, you cannot do all those things at the same time. So what ends up happening is you have a Space Jam that comes out, and it's just not as good as the first one. Or you got this season where, you're racking up points, you're competing for the scoring title, but your team's just not in a position to really win a championship. So, LeBron James has a lot to figure out as far as what means the most to him and what's second and what's third, and he needs to kind of sort that all out, and he probably has it sorted all out because he's a businessman and we just don't know. But it looks to me that he's chasing after this scoring title this season because LeBron James has a high enough basketball IQ to know this roster ain't getting it done unless there's some major Major changes.
Had it going really early, and then but Skip, I'm very encouraged by what I see by Malik Monk. Love Avery Bradley. He's gonna fight you tooth and nail. He can make some big shots. Stanley Johnson comes in and tries to battle. But Skip, I mean, what am I gonna do with Russ, Skip? I mean, if somebody has 7 turnovers in a ball game, you say they played bad. Mm-hmm. Russ had 7 in the first half.
He did.
He had 9 for the game.
He did.
And I don't care what anybody says. That's frustrating to his teammates. That's frustrating to the coaching staff because whatever we're trying to tell him is not getting through. They had 12 turnovers in the first half. Russ had 7 of them. You go back and look at the other night. I don't get it. I don't understand, Skip, and he just tries to go to the hole. He loses the ball out of hands, and he looks at his hand. Yeah, bro, you had the ball. There's nothing wrong with your hands. So stop looking at your hands like, I don't know what happened. Skip, look, like I said, it's a little, I'm glad for the simple fact.
Dumbest basketball player I've ever watched in the NBA, Russell Westbrook. No doubt about it. Russell Westbrook's like that guy at 2-4 or that guy at the park or whatever at the rec who he can dunk, he can do this and that, but like you just don't want to play with him. 1, because he's not going to pass the ball, and 2, because it's just not fun, and you're not really going to win just because you have him on your team. Like at least when you team up with like the raw niggas at the park or something, you at least want to win if you ain't going to get no touches. Like you ain't going to get no touches with Westbrook and you're going to lose. But he going to be feeling himself because he got his little workout in and he put up numbers. Like Westbrook is the dumbest basketball player I've ever seen. Westbrook, for real.
Is that they're beating these teams that they should beat. They're not losing games to these bad teams that they should beat. They're winning them. I don't know how they won this game. You get out rebounded by 28. You turn the ball over like you did last night. I don't know how you beat that team.
56-28, you got out rebounded.
They had all.
It's because you play small with LeBron at the 5,
right?
And you suffer for it,
right? Skip, I don't know how does the team have all.
I actually like LeBron James at the 5. It's something that I tweeted about. I put it up on my Instagram too. I like when LeBron James plays the 5 because it forces teams into a mismatch. Are you going to stay big and allow LeBron James to just blow by your center, or you work the jab step and shoot the jumper over your center's face all day long? Or are you going to go small and now LeBron James can pick out mismatches? Because what LeBron really wants to do is he wants you to go small, and then he's one of the bigger guys on the court, if not the biggest guy on the court. And then he wants to get a screen and get one of the smallest guys on the court, and then he just wants to body him up. That's what LeBron wants to do. LeBron just wants to pick apart the players on the other team like it's chess, and he wants to just use whatever matchups he can to make his numbers look the best that they possibly can. I mean, LeBron is the smartest player in basketball still. All the flack that I give LeBron, he is undoubtedly the smartest basketball player, highest IQ in the NBA right now. That's on the court. Off the court, I'm not even going to get into it. That dude is dumb as a rock. But on the court, LeBron James has the highest basketball IQ in the league right now. And he picks it apart. He's going to be able to put up numbers for a few more seasons. Like he's not slowing down statistically for another few seasons because he can always manufacture and maneuver himself and maneuver the game and put himself into positions to succeed statistically. He knows how to get the switches. He knows how to get the right guys on him. He knows where to put himself so that way he can be in positions to succeed. Now, he might not put his teammates in positions to succeed. He might force you to stand in the corner and be a spot-up shooter for him, even though you're not a spot-up shooter. But he puts himself in the right positions to succeed. So LeBron's not slowing down statistically, and he will get that scoring title record and any other record that he's close to getting. He'll get it. LeBron James, he's a stat machine, and he's a stat stuffer. For all his fans that act like LeBron James doesn't chase stats or like that's only a thing that Westbrook does, LeBron James chases stats. LeBron James is very well aware of the stats that he has during ball games. I can tell you that.
As many offensive rebounds as you have total rebounds, and you win the ball.
That's just effort or lack thereof.
There you go. Right. So it is what it is. I mean, Russ has gone over 8 over his last 3 from the 3 in his last 2 games. He shoots 30% from the season.
Okay.
And as you said, He's the Usain Bolt of turnovers. He's running away with it. It's not even close.
Not even close.
He called him the Usain Bolt of turnovers.
Close. So, I look up last night. I'm worn out from a long day of NFL. My Cowboys had lost.
That dude Russell Westbrook get the ball first play of the game, turn it over.
I was distraught. And I'm watching your Lakers, and I'm watching, and it's getting later and later. And I look up, and there's 3.5 minutes left in the game, and you're up 1 point.
Yeah.
And I said, there's only one reason this is happening without Cat and obviously D'Angelo Russell.
I mean, you stand right there. I mean, he's like, bro, hey, just let it go. And Phil's like, hey, bro, just let it go. We'll talk about it once we get inside.
Yep.
Because,
but Phil got steamed.
Right.
Like he got over emotional, man. Like, calm down a little bit.
Right.
What did LeBron have? 7 rebounds.
Right.
Okay. But he's playing the 5.
Right.
So they need him to bang.
So what Skip and Shannon are talking about right now is they're watching a clip of LeBron and Phil Handy going back and forth. Phil Handy is a guy who trains LeBron. They're going back and forth right now in a clip that they're watching. I don't know why FS1 doesn't show these clips. Like, we're just watching Skip and Shannon watching the clip. But yeah, it's on Twitter. It was trending for a while. LeBron got a little heated. Phil Handy got heated, and LeBron was apologizing to him, which was rare to see because LeBron doesn't really apologize to nobody, none of his coaches. LeBron kind of is the coach. You hear all the jokes, you hear all the memes, Le Coach, Le GM, all that shit.
And that's what the thing. I'm just like, in a situation, Skip, LeBron can't. Skip, you can't ask that man to go give us 30 a night. And set everybody up. I mean, Skip, you remember last night, a lot of time, Malik Monk was bringing the ball up. LeBron's like, I can't do the responsibility that you're asking me to do in your 19.
No.
But, Skip,
They got a team full of guards in LA. They got a team full of 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" guards in LA, and LeBron wants to dribble the ball up the court. I mean, like, at what point are you just going to realize you're 6'8", whatever he is right now, 250? I mean, LeBron slimmed down a little bit, so I'll give him 250, but he could be bigger than that. I'll give him 250, 6'8", 250. At what point are you going to get in the post and get in the post or like on the elbow or something? Like, why do you have to dribble the ball down the court and force a bunch of guys who've been playing point guard their entire life to have to start playing shooting guard, small forward, ducking off in the corner, waiting for you to make some crazy ass crossover, cross court pass with 3 seconds left on the shot clock for them to pull up after not touching the ball the whole possession? That's the thing about Warriors basketball and like some of these teams that have adopted the Warriors basketball style is everybody on the team is touching the ball. Everybody on the court gets a feel for the rock. So when it's your turn to shoot, you're in rhythm. With LeBron, it's like, man, I used to say this all the time. People would talk about J.R. Smith. I said, goddamn, J.R. Smith will be in the corner and LeBron James will hit him with a bullet pass with 2 seconds left in the shot clock, and he just expects J.R. to rise and just cash it. And J.R. sometimes would miss easy ones, but man, J.R. would sometimes hit some real tough ones where LeBron's just throwing him a bullet and he got to go up with it before the shot clock runs out. So people don't really factor that in, that shooters got to be in a rhythm, and especially point guards. You're talking about 6'2" point guards in the NBA. Like, LeBron wants to hold the ball, so what? Westbrook can chill out on the wing? Like, what can Westbrook do for you on the wing? I just don't understand.
They put in Russ more and more off the ball, but somehow he always ends up with the ball on the outlet, Skip. The fast break.
You can't put Russell Westbrook off the ball because what's he going to do off the ball? Russell Westbrook can't shoot. His mid-range, nasty. His three-point ball, nasty. His free throw, nasty. Like, Westbrook can't shoot, so you can't have him off of the ball. Westbrook has to have the ball in his hands. And everybody knows, like, I've been saying this since game 1 against the Warriors on opening night. But anybody who knows anything about basketball knew that this fit wasn't going to work. Because basketball is all about chemistry. This was never going to work. Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, it's just two ball-dominant players. They're not players who you plug into systems. Kevin Durant, you plug him into a system on the wing. Michael Jordan, you plugged him into a system on the wing. Kobe Bryant, when he had Phil Jackson, you plugged him into a system on the wing. Now, when Kobe didn't have Phil Jackson, he was out there doing some Westbrook shit. He was just over there stat padding, going berserk. Kobe was just out there getting... When Phil Jackson was around, Kobe looked around at the roster. He said, I'm going to go get 40, and I don't really care what else is going on over here. You feel me? But LeBron and Westbrook play a similar brand of basketball, so it's hard having two of those guys on the court at the same time. I actually think James Harden did a pretty good job of that because James Harden plays that style too. I think James Harden did a pretty good job of utilizing Russell Westbrook, or he did a pretty good job of utilizing Chris Paul when they had the two guys who are ball dominant playing together type of thing going on in Houston. But yeah, LeBron and Westbrook, we knew that it wasn't going to work.
Got the ball. I already know. When he gets the ball, I already know. I was like, man, let's get back on defense because they about to be coming back this way with the ball.
Yep. Obviously, your team is missing Anthony Davis. You're not a big fan of how he's played so far this year, but he's got to make them a little bit better because he can.
Does he really make them better? Anthony Davis has been terrible this year. He has been terrible this year. When Charles Barkley called him street clothes, some people were kind of like, that's harsh, but dude, he's always hurt. And when he's played, he's been bad this year. He's been bad. And what Anthony Davis doesn't understand is he's at his best when he's playing the 5. Because when he's playing the 5, he can bring guys out and they don't want to contest the jumper. And then he can shoot those same jumpers that he wants to shoot, but he'll be more open. But when he's playing the 4, those 4s are going to come out and those jumpers that he shoots are going to be contested. And then he doesn't want to go into the post and bang with the 4s. It's just, I don't know, like Anthony Davis, he's extremely talented. Arguably a top 5 talent in the NBA, but he's just frustrating to watch, man. He is.
Back, I think, to the 5 and LeBron to the 4.
He don't want to play the 5.
I know, but he has to.
No, but he don't want to. Skip, he don't want that back.
He just has to. He has to. Skip is right.
Okay, all right. But, hey, do you want to make the playoffs? Because you were in.
That's still 50-50.
Yeah, I know, because they just moved up to 19-19.
Yeah.
They rose all the way up with 2 big home wins over bad teams without their stars.
Skip, AD was there for like 12, 13 games without LeBron.
Yeah.
That was your opportunity to rise and shine because you're supposed to take this was supposed to be AD's year. He's supposed to have to start transitioning.
Yeah.
From year one he got there, okay, he scored the most. Okay, he got Nick last year, but he's supposed to be transitioning. LeBron's supposed to be 2. LeBron should not be this much of the best player on the team in year 19.
Yeah, but people love deflecting blame off of LeBron James. LeBron James supporters love deflecting blame off of LeBron James onto his teammates, whether it would be Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love or Chris Bosh or Dwayne Wade. It was always somebody else's fault. The GM let LeBron know that he was going to work a trade for Buddy Hield, and LeBron James wanted Westbrook instead. So at the end of the day, LeBron knew what he was getting into. He met up with Westbrook before the trade. So, like, how does LeBron not get the blame for all of this? Because he's not setting Anthony Davis. He knows how Anthony Davis wants to play, and he's not setting up Anthony Davis to succeed by adding Westbrook to the fold. You know, it's just crowding the paint up. It's not good spacing. It's taking touches away from Anthony Davis. So what blame do we place onto LeBron James for the struggles that Anthony Davis is having playing with Russell Westbrook? Because you have to give him some of that blame.
Got Anthony Davis on the team, Skip.
I do agree. There's no way they win that game if Karl Anthony Towns plays last night. He's
no.
Playing at a high level.
Well, first of all, you can't play small. You can't play. You have to play Dwight Howard. Yes,
you would have to. But D'Angelo Russell, I know he's come and goes. But
can we trade him? Can we trade him for Russ?
Yeah, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I would do that. And I throw in a couple of parting gifts.
D'Lo for Westbrook would be a better fit for the Lakers, but it still wouldn't be it. It's not. It wouldn't even be a good enough trade to make. Like, you're not getting better enough to even make the deal midway through the season. But yeah, hypothetically, he would be a better fit than Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, congratulations, Shannon. You now have a 500 team.
Hey, you don't want to talk about my guy being the second in scoring in the NBA?
And it got you what? 500.
I know a guy.
That's what this is really about. Shannon is talking about LeBron James being second in scoring in the NBA. LeBron hasn't even played enough games at this point to qualify as second in scoring in the NBA. He hasn't played enough games to qualify as a scoring leader. But this is LeBron James fans, LeBron James stands 101. This is Shannon Sharpe 101. Just, hey, If LeBron ain't doing this, LeBron was doing that. Hey, if the team ain't playing well, let's talk about his stats. If his stats ain't this, well, let's talk about the team. It's always something. It's always something. The team is 500. The Lakers are a 500 basketball team right now with LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. And yeah, Anthony Davis is hurt right now, but they have Anthony Davis too. Like, when you read the names on the roster, it sounds like some celebrity, like A-list. Like, they have Carmelo, Trevor Ariza. Like, when you read the name Dwight Howard, like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they thought this was. This is like the 2013 fucking all-star team. It doesn't make any sense. Like, a decade ago, this would be the greatest team of all time. But I don't know. Is the Big Three league still open? No, I'm playing. But it just was never meant to work.
A guy that's the best player lost a 10-point lead.
Really?
He lost a 10-point lead to a team without Paul George and Kawhi. I ain't saying no names, but we know who lost that lead.
But he's about to get Kyrie Irving back, and then we'll see.
You needed Kyrie to beat the Clippers.
Well,
minus Paul George.
LeBron needed Kyrie to beat the Golden State Warriors in Game 7.
Oh, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that, because you saw what happened. A triple dub happened. Remember when they went on that lead and LeBron scored a 7-point and got tied it back up all by himself?
Nobody could score, and finally Kyrie said, I got it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Before no one could score, why couldn't nobody score? Can you tell the people what happened? The greatest block in NBA history.
Really, the bicycle built for two by J.R.
These guys talk about that finals from 5 years ago every single day. I swear they talk about this finals that happened. But anyway, I just saw this segment of them talking about the Lakers, and I wanted to chime in. Thanks for viewing the video.